Hello everyone. For my first video of the day, I'm going to be talking about a miniseries on Netflix, and it's called Conversations with a Killer, the John Wayne Gacy tapes. But before I go into that, first and foremost, this show is not tended lately, and this man killed roughly 33 gay men, and it was tragic as it was. But as for the details, I'll go into it. I'm gonna go into it during the review portion. Before I go into that, first and foremost, I want to say thank you to everybody. Without all of you, ladies and gentlemen, I won't be where I'm at. So thank you very much for the love, support, and respect that this channel gets, and I greatly appreciate it. So thank you very much. If you're new to this channel and want to see what I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and gaming reviews. So if those are your thing, you want to check them out, say go for it and see what you think. And lastly, comment down below, like, share, all the good stuff. And if you like what you see and want to sub, please do so if you want. With all that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go on with the show today. So, to describe this miniseries on Netflix, it's on roughly 3 episodes, but it basically describes how John Wayne Gacy grew up in an abusive home, and he did weird things. I'm not gonna say what because it's YouTube, but just think of Ed Gein, because Ed Gein almost did the same exact things as John Wayne Gacy. One thing in common, which I'm not going to mention, but it involved women's underwear. That's all I'm going to say. Then, as he grew up and everything, he wasn't well or stable. But he was clever enough to kill 33 people, and the police didn't care because, how I put this lately, since the police at that time didn't take these crimes lightly, since gay men were being killed left and right, and it was tragic enough as it was, and the trust between the cops back then and the families, because these crimes they lost faith in the police because of that reason. Nowadays, I don't know, but he caused a makeshift shift of how things should be done if crimes are committed. But it wasn't done that way back then. So basically after the tapes, after you listen to the tapes, and this is his actual voice. Sorry if I'm sorry if his speech impediment pops up from time to time. It just does, so sorry about that. But you hear his own voice, you hear what he says, and he doesn't sound remorseful at all. And in my opinion, after seeing the 3-part documentary / show, call it how it is, it was very unique to me because I never heard of this guy in detail. I only started to be intrigued because of the Jeffrey Dahmer Monster series. We've seen Gacy kill someone in his house the same exact way, but I didn't know who it was. And so one of his victims, and then Gacy himself. And he ran a business, I forgot the title of it, but it was Repair Concrete or something like that. And basically the people who worked for him also went missing. So he might have had something against women. I don't know. But after what I've seen, I believe he deserved to be guilty of his crimes. But involving the death penalty, I don't know. But he was arrogant to the end, per usual. if you understood and seen his documentaries or the Jeffrey Dahmer show that was done, the monster series, and his final words were, "Kiss my ass," to the families and all that. Then he was injected in the chair, I believe in Utah, if I'm right. So once that was done and everything else, the families are still affected by his crimes, and also the loved ones and their friends of the loved ones were just, I'm sorry, the victims were just, they're not the same till this day. They're not the same, and that loss sticks with them till this day because of John Gacy, because the cops back then didn't do their job lightly until it was too late. So if crimes like that last longer, then that tells me we live in a society where we don't give two flying F's about people until we're forced to act. That's how I seen it after all the crimes. Those 33 young boys and men were killed because of those things I just mentioned. So hopefully now, when something like that happens, it's not going to be disregarded just because of somebody's color or gay, straight, or whatever. But yeah, that's why I was avoided for so long. And after seeing the show or the documentary, I thought it was interesting. It's just I never heard of the guy in detail or what he did. But after watching it, and he was a really messed up mother effer on all fronts. And childhood kind of helped out with that in a way, since he had a messed up childhood that led the way he did to his victim in the basement. Though that said, without me going into a long rant about it, if you are a fan of a crime genre and want to see what happened in the past involving serial killers, I would say go for it and see what you think. And if you're new to this genre or horror or anything else like that, just keep in mind this man was really messed up and deserved what he got, but the death penalty to me it's still a question mark to me, at least to me a little bit. But long story short, if you are a fan of crime shows and all that, Netflix has this good show, and I would encourage anyone to watch who's interested. So, if you are also interested in other stuff like that, Netflix has endless opportunities. And we all know about Netflix and all that. Just if you want to see a good show, I would recommend it. If you don't have Netflix, that's fine. With all that said, thank you all again for the love, support, and patience when I upload videos. Since some people don't have the patience, and thankfully most of you do. So thank you very much for that. May God bless you all, and stay safe.